Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Chief Lego Fanatic. My name is Evan Singleton. I will be your host. Today we are going to be doing the assembly and review of the newest Star Wars set. It's set 75322 Hoth ATST. Everything is awesome. Alright, so there have been several versions of this set that have come out. If you look at the banner up at the top, you'll see a previous video that I did on the other similar ATST sets that I have. This one is specific to Hoth, the Battle of Hoth, one of the most epic battles in Star Wars. If you notice, it comes with several minifigures. You have two rebels, a Wookiee, or sorry, not a Wookiee, but Chewbacca. It does have a probe droid as well. You can see the picture of it there. And I guess you have the so you have one Rebel Trooper, one ATST driver, and Chewbacca. The set is 586 pieces. Not a whole lot to the box. The back is very similar to the front, but it does show that the head swivels, the top opens, and that it has guns that can be aimed, and that the legs move, which is pretty standard for the set. Let's get it broken open. It's one of those. So unfortunately, I dislike these type boxes because you just about have to destroy the box in order to open it. As you can see, it's actually from the bottom that you have to open it, which is really annoying. So I like to set the box up over here while I'm building. Maybe it'll stand. All right. Looks like there's 4 bag sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. No decals. Doesn't look like it. Thank God. As I've expressed on here several times, I hate decals because they're a giant pain in the butt. All right. We have our instruction booklet. Standard in the back, we have the inventory of all the pieces. Makes it easy to find pieces if they're lost or they're just straight up missing from the set. Show some of the other Legos. These are a lot of the smaller micro Lego sets. Shows how to use the blasters. Let's see, it looks like you build the hinged top blast. We're building the head part, building the sides of the head, the base, attaching the legs to the base. And we're building the legs. What are we building first? Looks like the base is the first part, which makes sense because everything else attaches to it. Yep, that's pretty much it. It shows you where you can get the building instructions online. Super useful. How to do this type stuff, what each bag builds. And we get going. We start off with building Chewbacca and his little crossbow. Expect this to take me about an hour. So let's get to it. Alright, so our hour was a bit generous. It took me about 53 minutes. Once I actually edited the video down, I could tell. Yeah, so it starts off with building one of the minifigs, and then it's going to be the base of the ATST. It's a lot of Technic bricks, just so it has something for the legs to connect onto. Unfortunately, the set is not very big, so you can't see a whole lot. Oh, yeah, I forgot about, I gotta build the probe droid. This is about 1,500% of the speed, so about 15 times normal speed. Yeah, so now it's actually building the bottom portion of the body. Yeah, it's not that difficult of a build. One thing is it has a lot of extra pieces I wasn't expecting. None of them were obvious. Oh, this is a missing piece from somewhere, so that I could put it on there. Not an overly difficult set, hence why it went so fast. I'm already on bag 2. This isn't going to take very long. Yeah, it's a couple of the side panels, or the seat section. So the actual rotating part of the head, yeah, you can see where I added that. Next part is, I believe it's the legs. Yep, just adding on the legs. It starts off with the feet, and then it works its way up the legs from there, and then eventually you attach the legs to, or one leg at a time to the body. Yep, you see me building up the first leg there. It's mostly Technic bricks, so it goes together relatively well. Yep, attached to the body, and get started on the second leg. Or finish attaching the leg to the body and then get started on the second leg. Yep, so we got the foot and then the ankle. And then again, it's just mostly Technic bricks working its way up from there. Attach it to the body, and then there you go. And then the last little detail stuff. And then the last bag is just going to be the rest of the head, which is pretty much just 4 panels. I forgot about the other 2 minifigs, but yeah, it's 4 or 5 different panels, so 1 for each side, and then the panel that goes on top. And then the panel that goes on top actually has a hinged lid in it, so that obviously somebody can get in and out. Unlike the AT-AT, this is only built for 1 person to be inside. I'm not really sure how well this thing would actually move. I know in the movies it looked kind of janky when it's walking around. It doesn't have a whole lot of joints. Like this one, I think it only has 1 joint that actually moves in the legs. Yep, adding on the weapons onto the side panels. This is building the top of it. Then after that, it's just putting the lasers in there. That's it. Alright, and here we have the completed set. It actually took me under an hour, probably closer to 45 minutes. I didn't even finish a single episode of Lucifer. It has a surprising amount of extra parts for such a relatively small set. None of them stand out as pieces that would be obvious to see that they were missing, so I didn't really have to go back and check to see if I could find where they go. But whatever. So we have our 3 minifigs, our 1 Stormtrooper, our 1 Rebel, our Chewbacca, and our little probe droid that has this neat little stand that goes with it. For the set itself, it does have a gearing in it, so that you can use the gear to turn the head. So that's pretty neat. Interesting thing about this one is it only has the 1 joint that moves. This joint here doesn't move. I mean, it can shift a little bit, but the only joint that really moves is this one. So it makes setting the legs relatively easy. And then it has the 2 shooters, which have little push buttons here in the back to activate the spring mechanism. So it's pretty neat. It's very similar to a lot of the other AT-ST sets. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 for what it is. Not a bad set. There's not a lot of detail on the inside. It does have 1 control panel, and then it has the 1 spot for the Stormtrooper to sit in, or the pilot to sit in. It's not very complete. There's a lot of extra gapping, but it's also a relatively small set, so you don't really expect it to have all those extra details. And I tried to close up some of the gaps, and the lid wouldn't. Then the top wouldn't close. There we go. There we got it with the top closed. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Next one, we will be starting the build for the Boutique Hotel. It is a modular set to go with all of the modular sets you can see on the shelf in the back. It also came out on the 1st of January, so we'll be starting the build for that. Anyways, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, so on and so forth. Another cool podcast you can look up is called Second Summit. It's run by a friend of mine named Dan Maycumber. If you want to look for some inspiration, they talk about exercising and that type of stuff. So I will see you guys next time.